Many countries are facing a big problem. People are having fewer babies. This is happening in rich countries all over the world, from South Korea to the United States. At first, you might think this isn't a big deal, but it actually causes a lot of issues. As people live longer, we need younger workers to replace those who retire, pay taxes, and take care of older folks. At the same time, more couples are choosing not to have children, leading to a new type of household called DINKS. Dual income, no kids. In the past, people worried about having too many people on Earth. Two men, Thomas Malthus and Paul Ehrlich, wrote about how overpopulation could cause big problems. They thought there wouldn't be enough food for everyone. Even China made rules to stop people from having more than one child. But now we know these fears were wrong. We have enough food. The real problem is getting it to everyone who needs it. Today, the problem is that there aren't enough young people. In the United States, the number of babies being born has gone down a lot. But when we look closer, we see something interesting. Women over 30 are actually having more babies than before. The big change is that teenagers are having way fewer babies. In fact, the number of teens having babies has dropped by 77% in the US. This change isn't all bad. It means fewer unplanned pregnancies and fewer babies born to young moms who might struggle to take care of them. But it does mean there are fewer young people overall. Money is a big reason why people aren't having kids in countries like Italy, Spain, and Greece, where it's hard for young people to find jobs. Fewer babies are being born. Many young adults say they can't have kids because childcare is too expensive. It costs about $332,000 to raise a child from birth to age 18 in the US, and that doesn't even include college costs. But it's not just about money. Even in countries that spend a lot on helping families like Norway and Finland, people are still having fewer babies. So there must be other reasons too. One big difference is how having kids affects men and women. When women have babies, they often earn less money. And this lasts for many years. Men don't face this problem as much. Their pay doesn't usually go down when they have kids. In some countries like South Korea and Japan, women are still expected to do most of the childcare. This makes it hard for them to have careers and take care of kids at the same time. In countries where men and women share childcare more equally, more babies are being born deciding to have a baby. Shows that you're hopeful about the future. You believe your child will have a good life and that the world will be okay. But in many rich countries with few babies, people don't feel very hopeful about the future. Some countries have tried to fix this by giving people money to have babies, but this hasn't worked very well. Just giving someone money once doesn't make them feel better about the future. For years to come, as fewer people choose to have children, a new type of household is becoming more common. As we mentioned, the DINKS, dual income, no kids movement. In 2022, about 43% of households in the US were made up of couples without children, which is a 7% increase from 10 years ago. Many DINKS say that money played a big role in their decision not to have kids. More than a quarter of them said they simply can't afford to support a child right now. Some couples are still paying off their own student loans while thinking about having kids, which makes it even harder. DINKS can save a lot of money by not having kids. They don't have to pay for childcare, which can be very expensive. In fact, some people find that childcare costs almost as much as they earn at work. This makes it hard to decide whether to keep working or stay home with the kids. But it's not just about saving money. DINKS also have more free time. They can focus on hobbies, home improvements, or just relaxing after work. Many DINKS say this extra free time is one of the best things about not having kids. Having more money and free time means DINKS can do things that might be harder for parents. They can travel more, invest in expensive hobbies, or save more for retirement. Studies show that DINKS can save about 9% more for retirement each year compared to couples with kids. This extra saving can make a big difference over time. One study found that people without kids who are 55 and older have about $2,300 more in savings than people with kids. This is because DINKS can put more money into savings and investments instead of spending it on raising children. The power of saving early is huge. If you take the $3,500 it costs to raise a child and invest it instead, you could have over $500,000 after 18 years. Assuming a 7% yearly return, this extra money can help DINKS buy homes earlier or put down bigger down payments, which saves them money on interest over time. However, the rise of DINKS isn't all good news for the economy. Fewer babies being born can lead to slower economic growth. Important programs like Social Security depend on having enough young workers to support older people. So while being a DINK can be good for individuals, it can cause problems for society as a whole. DINKS face challenges too, even if they're not financial. Some feel pressure from family and friends who expect them to have kids. It can be harder to make friends when you don't have children, as many social groups are centered around parenting. Dinks might also be expected to take care of aging parents more often as people assume they have more free time and money. Despite these challenges, many dinks are happy with their choice. They enjoy the freedom to pursue their interests, save for the future, and live life on their own terms. Some say they feel more financially comfortable and worry less about day-to-day expenses. Financial experts say that dinks should focus on saving and setting clear goals for the future. It's important to make a budget that includes money for fun activities as well as investments. They should also review their financial plans regularly to make sure they're still on track. It's also crucial for couples to agree on their decision not to have children. Both partners should be confident in this choice independently, not just as a couple. Being a dink isn't just about having more money to spend. It still requires careful planning for the future. In the end, the reasons why people are having fewer babies are complex-rooted. It's not just about money or housing or childcare. It's about how people feel about the future, how men and women share responsibilities, and the choices people have in their lives. The rise of dinks is just one part of this bigger picture, reflecting changing attitudes towards family work and life goals. The drop in birth rates and the rise of dinks are complex issues that affect many countries. While some aspects of these trends are positive, like more financial freedom for some couples, they also present challenges for societies to address this. We need to think beyond just giving people money to have babies. We should focus on creating a world where people feel hopeful about the future, where the burdens of raising children are shared more equally, and where different life choices are respected and supported. What do you guys think about the dinks movement? Do you think population decline is a huge risk to maintain humanity? Please leave your comment below. We would love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you for making it this far. If you like this video, you might want to share it with a like-minded friend. Thank you, and as always, stay blessed.